My name is Elizabeth, and the journey of being a transmedium, I think that you will hear that from the guides, and it has been a journey for many years, and I didn't even know at first that I was going to be a transmedium, but they led me to it, and I have found that this really is my true mission. Because so, welcome dear ones. Yes. Welcome dear ones, and thank you so much for this performance for us, dear Elizabeth. Thank you. And thank you for you who's being here and watching this today. It is a great, great honor for us to be here, and that you as a soul has come here and listened to what we want to say to you today. Today we would like to talk about who we are and why we're here, and just as Elizabeth was telling you. Our mission to talk like this through Elizabeth is to reach out to you as a change maker. You are who are hearing this are a change maker, and you need to understand that, and you can feel it inside of your heart, never in your mind. And we will come forward with these messages over and over again, to always listen into your heart. That's where you will find all your answers. And what you need to do is to start by today, taking 3 deep breaths. Because your breathing will guide you inside of your body, and that's where your heart is, right? You need to feel, and your breathing can help you to feel much more relaxed and get in touch with your soul. Because we are speaking to your soul. Sometimes you may not understand in your mind, and that's when you need to take an even bigger breath and make the contact with your soul in your heart. So, as we said, we would like to tell you about who we are today inside of here. There are many of us. Many of you want a name. But one name won't do. Because one name for a whole bunch of dudes, angels, spiritual guides in here won't do. Because there are a lot of us. And how can it be like that? We know that you wonder. Well, when we started to teaching Elizabeth about getting us inside of the body, there were at first 2 or 3 of us that brought inside her energy, inside of her body. And one by one we learned how to expand the voice so our voice could come forward. So we are using her throat and her voice for some time, as well as the body, so we can do it like this. Yeah, hi. And It was very difficult for her at first to let go. And we told her for a very long time, let go, darling, everything will be just fine. But she didn't understand us at first. She understood that she had to let go of her ego, but she didn't understand that we wanted to come forward like this. She had never had a thought of being a transmedium. We know it all along, of course, but we have to make simple steps and easy small steps for her at first, so she wouldn't use her mind to break us down, so to speak. And because if she would have known about this at first, she would have fought it. Her ego would begin a fight, and we couldn't have it like that. Because there was so much dramas in past life and things from this life that Elizabeth has to be released of first to clean her energy, so to speak. Because when her energy is clean, her ego and her mind can be put aside. So she is still in here, but in the background. And you can compare it with when you are hearing your spiritual guides. Sometimes you see it as messages in pictures, and sometimes you can hear our words like a thought from, a part of your brain back here. And now we have shifted places in here, so it's us that are controlling all of this and this, And Elizabeth is now in the background. So she is still here, but it's not her that has the control, because she don't need to have the control right now. She is the messenger, the body that we are using. And every one of you has a very special assignment, a contract you can say sometimes, and a deal with the universe that you wrote before you came here many, many, many lifetimes ago. So it's not just in this lifetime that this contract has been signed. You have been prepared for what you are going to do in this life many, many lives before, just as Elizabeth. And the cleaning, the healing that she had to do was to release past traumas and energies from all this wisdom that she has gained in the past lives. And she had to remember who she was, to be the messenger, and we could come inside of her body like we are doing right now. She do not remember everything that we are saying. She can remember sometimes like a theme or some sentence, words that we have brought to you. And for every time that we are doing this, she is releasing more and more and more. So her voice, Elizabeth, and her soul, you can say, they get more and more in the background, because her ego, her mind, has now understood that it doesn't have to be in charge. so it can be letting go of the control much easier for every time. And therefore, when she is letting go more and more and more, she will not remember as much as she used to in the beginning. So, who are we? And why did we start this by telling you about Elizabeth? Well, let me do this at first, is a little anyway. We are the angels, and we are the spiritual guides that wants to reach out to you as a change maker. So, the guides and the angels who are speaking to you are your guides and your angels, as well as Elizabeth's guides and angels. So many times it's your personal guides that are coming through. When we are talking like this in a video, it can be many of us, and Elizabeth is working with many spiritual guides and angels because she has to get to know different kind of energies to being able to letting go of the control and have the trust in every one of us that are coming through to you. So therefore, she doesn't have what you call a personal guide, because there are so many, because she has to speak out for so many of us. And the most of you have 1, 2, 3, 4, or even 5 spiritual guides and angels that you are working with more for some times of your life. And sometimes you shift the spiritual guide, sometimes you have the same for whole life, depending on what you are doing and what you need to remember about yourself and of who you are and your deal that you made into this world. Sorry for that. So we are your spiritual guides and angels. Every one of you who is listening to this. And it sounds like one voice at a time, when it can be hundreds of us in here at the same time. And I know that you in your mind wonder how the hell can that be possible, because you see us like one person or 100 person, when we are in fact just energies. We all are. Everything is energy, and you know that. And so it's like 100 kinds of energies inside of here at the same time. And that could be, if you will put it in a size, like 100 cells. And 100 cells inside of a body isn't that much. It can be just in your little finger here on the tip. That's a lot of cells in there. So we don't need so much space in the reality. Of course, it was hard at the first for her to let us coming through, because we had to expand her energy, because our energy feels much bigger, because our energy is more in contact with God, the universe, Buddha, and all the things that you have learned, you know, the great wisdom, because we are on the other side. So it feels greater, because it is an energy that is everything and everywhere, because we are in greater contact with the source, with the life force. And this is the journey that you are making to get the life force to feel it inside of your body. Because when you are in the life force, that's when you remember who you are. And you will make a great deal for the world as the change maker that you are. So we can be many things. Sometimes you will see us as an angel. Maybe even one that you have read about a lot, like Raphael or Michael or Gabriel. Sometimes you will see us as a more personal guide, because when we are talking to you in our private webinars that we will put down here, how you can contact us in that. And this private webinars, that's where we can talk more like face to face. And then you will get in touch with your personal guide, your personal angels, because that's the one who will talk through Elizabeth then. In the webinars that we are bringing out at first for more people, there will be that you can ask personal questions to us before the webinar. And those questions, when we are answering them, sometimes it is your personal guide that are bringing you the answer. Sometimes it's like the 100 of us at the same time, because the question that you are asking is a question that everyone needs to hear in this webinar, for example. So it's depending on who you are and what you need at the time, who we are. And spiritual guides and angels, as we tell you about in the book of Angels in Contact with the Soul. It's a channelized book, by the way, that we brought to Elizabeth to write. By the way, in that book, we tell you about that we are what gives you the most, not satisfaction, but the most, comfort. What you gain the most trust. Where you gain the most trust. So if you have most trust in the nature, we will bring you fairies, for example. Or if you have the most trust in the animals, because many of you has been very hurt by people and feel that you are loners and not quite as other humans. And there you find comfort in the animals. And you are a healer for the animals. And the one that are talking for the animals, just as Elizabeth are talking, and we are talking through her right now. And then we will show us as an animal, like a wolf or a bear, or, the power of the animals and the nature forces. Sometimes some of you feels the most comfort in the nature by yourself, by the wind, the earth, and feeling the trees. And that's where you will find the guidance from us in that case. And sometimes it's a spiritual guide that you feel are like an Indian or a cowboy or whatever. You can have mermaids. dragons. It really doesn't matter who your spiritual guides are. We are an energy, and we will show ourselves as the best for you. So that's what we are. But really we are energies, and we have no form. But we can make a form to make it better for you. And by speaking like this to you today, it will make you understand more about your spiritual guides, more about yourself, and show the presence of us, that we are always here. We will never leave you, ever. We're always here. We do always listen to you, but sometimes you do not listen to us. Excuse us. Oh, and sometimes we do have to heal, like we did right now. Sometimes there is something stuck in the way, and then you do not listen to us, because it's something that has to be cleaned. And many of you change makers has very much of the blockings, because there are forces who wants to stop you. And there are things that you have to learn about yourself and about your powers. And therefore, you have learned by many, many lessons. And that's the best way to teach, is through the pain. So for many of you change makers, there are a lot of pain to go through, a lot of emotions to heal, and a lot of inner wounds and child inside of you that has to release all the traumas. And very often it is also in the past lives. And we will tell you more about this in the episodes that are coming. But now we are ready for today. And we look forward to hear your questions. So just make a comment and put your question there, so we can bring it on into episodes that will follow. Thank you so much for listening to us today. Remember, you are never alone. Remember, we are always here, and we will always guide you. But you have to listen inside of your heart to hear the answers. And thank you, Elizabeth, for letting us come through today. Yes, so thank you for today. Thank you so much for listening, and what the next episode will be about, I'm not quite sure yet, actually. Sorry, I'm still a little dizzy when they have left me. Okay. I just say thank you for now. Thank you for listening. And please do make a comment with your questions so we can bring the answers forward to you. Okay? Bye. And do not forget that we have a webinar for you. Just follow the link down here and you will find the next webinar.